My god, do I wish that I had a better cinema experience when I was watching this film last night. Here's my review of See How They Run. See How They Run. So, See How They Run follows the story of this murder that happened after the performance of a play one night on the West End. And basically Sam Rockwell's detective and Saoirse Ronan's trainee policewoman come in to investigate the murder and to find out what really happened. And that's basically the plot of See How They Run. And honestly, I liked this film. I thought it was good. I thought it was a wonderful film to watch. It wasn't anything special, but it was, like I said before, a bit of fun. However, I had a terrible, and I mean terrible, experience watching this film in the cinema last night. I enjoyed watching it, but I would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't for these people in the cinema who were on their phones and just nattering away for the first half an hour to an hour of this film. And it was so annoying. I don't understand that mentality of some people who go into cinema who spend like up to, 10 quid, sometimes even 12 quid. I've spent that much going into a cinema before. And they just sit there and they go on their phones or they natter away, they talk all the way through a movie. Who does that? Even if you're just talking a little bit in a movie, but you can still hear them really loudly. Who does that? It's really annoying. And it happened in the first half an hour to an hour of this film. It got so bad that my mum, who I was watching the film with in the cinema, she actually said to the people who were talking quite loudly, "Can you please be more quiet?" And they still continued to talk though, and they still continued to go on their phone. It really annoys me that, because like when you're in a cinema, it's dark and you want your attention to be completely on the one screen, the cinema screen. You want it to be on the cinema screen. That's the thing you're there for. You're there to watch a movie on the cinema screen. You don't want your attention to go elsewhere to a phone screen. And that's what happens with me when somebody gets their phone out in the cinema and they're a couple rows down from me, which is what happened last night. And also when people start talking quite loudly and it distracts me with the dialogue going on in the film. Like, I couldn't really hear what certain characters were saying in the first half an hour of this movie last night because all I could hear was some people talking away. It was just so bloody annoying. So, the film was good. I'm not sitting here saying it was bad. I enjoyed watching it, but I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it wasn't for the shit, and I mean shit, cinema experience I had with this movie last night. I just don't understand that mentality. I really don't. Who goes to the cinema to go on their phone or to talk? Go to a cafe or just go to anywhere else that's not a cinema. It's so bloody annoying from someone like me who goes to cinema quite a lot, and you've had this experience quite a lot as well. I had it when I spent about 12 to 13 quid when I was going to watch The Batman at this big IMAX screening, and like there were some people a couple of behind me who were getting to the end of the movie and go, oh look, is that the joke? And I was like, can you just not be quiet and watch the film? Just watch the movie. Okay, just wanted to get that out there. It's a good movie. I just had a bad cinema experience whilst I was watching it. But I did still enjoy watching it though. The second half of the film, after the hour mark when those people started to be quiet, I liked a lot more because I understood what was going on and I could invest myself into it a bit more as well. Because of those people that were being so distracting, I couldn't get myself invested into the start of the film. So it just took a while for me to get invested into the movie, and that's not a fault of the film, but that's a fault of the people in the cinema who were nattering away. But still, nonetheless, I struggled to get myself invested in the film, but again, that's not a fault of the film, it's just a fault of the people who were in the cinema. But at the same time, though, it was fun to watch, particularly the second half of the film. And also, I did really like the performance as well. Sam Rockwell was good in the film. He's got this English accent in the film, which is a tad bit weird to get over, but still, it kind of worked in the context of the movie. And also, Saoirse Ronan was great in there. I really enjoyed watching her. There's also some other performances from people like David Oyelowo and also Adrian Brody, who are chewing the scenery, but in the way the film kind of warrants them to, and I really liked that in there. And also, I felt that the music score by Daniel Pemberton kind of worked as well. And another reason that you could tell this this film was working for me was the fact that I was actually interested in the murder mystery. If I wasn't interested in the murder mystery, then I wouldn't care who did it. But I did care who did it. It was a whodunit, and I cared who had done it. That was the point I'm trying to make. That I cared about who had done the murder. And so I did still enjoy watching it. I wish I cared more, and I think I would have cared more if it wasn't for my bad cinema experience. But also at the same time though, another thing I want to say is that this film feels like kind of like a pseudo Wes Anderson film. It feels like it was a wannabe Wes Anderson murder mystery. It's shot in that 2D style that you get of a lot of Wes Anderson films. In fact, almost all of his movies, with the exception of his first film, Bottle Rocket, you know, most Wes Anderson films, even Bottle Rocket does to a certain degree actually, but most Wes Anderson films have that 2D sort of cinematography, which I really enjoy watching. It's almost like a cartoon come to life. It's like the pages of a comic strip come to life, and I really like that about his movies. But also, this film kind of had that same sort of shooting style. And I didn't mind it, but it did kind of feel like the director, Tom George, was trying to copy that Wes Anderson style that works so well in Wes Anderson movies because they're Wes Anderson films. And, you know, that's kind of his trademark. Whenever you go to a Wes Anderson movie now, you feel like you're going to have that shooting style. But here, I didn't expect that sort of shooting style, and I kind of wish it didn't feel so Wes Anderson though. Because I'm a huge fan of Wes Anderson. Rushmore, which is like Wes Anderson's second film, is it's up there in my 20 favourite films of all time. I love that film so much. You know, it clicks me on a personal level, and I don't really know why, but whenever I watch a movie, it just makes me smile, makes me laugh, and I absolutely adore it. And also, I love some of Wes Anderson films as well, like Grand Budapest Hotel. I really enjoyed French Dispatch. I love, you know, The Darjeeling Limited. I enjoyed Moonrise Kingdom, and also I love The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I don't care what anyone says. I think that is a wonderful film. But it did kind of have this feeling when I was watching the cinema last night, when I was watching See How They Won in the cinema, and I was kind of like, okay, it's shot in a Wes Anderson way, then why am I not watching a Wes Anderson film? I'd much rather watching a Wes Anderson film than this. And you almost expect that the end credits are going to say directed by Wes Anderson. I mean, they don't. They come up and they say directed by Tom George. But at the same time, though, I kind of expected them to say directed by Wes Anderson because it just felt like a Wes Anderson murder mystery. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but at the same time, though, when it's not directed by Wes Anderson, you kind of question, why is Tom George staging all these scenes and directing this film in a very Wes Anderson way? And also, another reason that this film feels very Wes Anderson is in the cast. This film has a huge cast, like many Wes Anderson films do, whether it's Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest Hotel, French Dispatch, which has literally everyone in the world in, and also Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Those films have huge casts, and this film has a huge cast as well. And like many Wes Anderson films, you know, this film does a good job at showcasing all these different actors and actresses' talents, but at the same time though, when you've got actors like Adrian Brody and Saoirse Ronan in this movie, again, you do kind of feel like he's trying to copy that Wes Anderson formula, but he's not doing it as well as Wes Anderson does. Like Saoirse Ronan has been in Wes Anderson films, like The French Dispatch, and she played the love interest in the Grand Budapest Hotel, and also Adrian Brody has been in quite a lot of Wes Anderson films, whether it's Darjeeling Limited. I'm pretty sure he was in Grand Budapest Hotel, I'm pretty sure he was in French Dispatch, I'm sure he did another Wes Anderson film as well, which I can't think of off the top of my head, but you get the point I'm making. It did kind of feel, especially with a huge cast, and with the way the film was shot, like Tom George, the director of this movie, was trying to copy the Wes Anderson formula, but just not doing it as well as Wes Anderson. Which was a bit weird. Like I said before, I was kind of sat there in a couple of moments thinking, I'd much rather watch a Wes Anderson film instead. Like, I'm not saying the film was bad, but I think there's some Wes Anderson films, in particular some of the ones I've mentioned to you already, that I feel are a lot better. And that's just coming from me, though, as a Wes Anderson fan. I should say I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan, and for some people that won't be an issue, and it isn't really an issue for me, but it just was a bit weird watching it and having that sort of perspective on it. But at the same time, though, I also did really enjoy the cast. I did mention this briefly in this review before, but I really enjoyed the cast members like Sam Rockwell, who was great as the detective in there, and also Saoirse Ronan was great in there. I actually think that her and Sam Rockwell's chemistry carried a lot of the film. And also Tim Key, who I only really know from like the Alan Partridge stuff, whether it's, you know, the latest Alan Partridge TV show, This Time with Alan Partridge, or the Alan Partridge film, Alan Partridge Alpha Papa, which is a great movie, by the way. I recently watched that. But still, Tim Key, who I really know from the Alan Partridge stuff and that one episode of Afterlife Series 3 that I was in, he pops in this film. as this police officer who's kind of checking on, searching on Sam Rockwell's characters throughout the film. And I kind of sat down. It's been jarring to watch Tim Key in the same scene as like Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan, because Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan are two, you know, Oscar-winning / Oscar-nominated actors, and then you've got Tim Key in there, who I only know from like Alan Partridge and his supporting roles in the Alan Partridge stuff that I've seen him in. And so it's just a bit weird, like, oh, that's Tim Key in the same scene as Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan. A bit weird, but still, nonetheless, that kind of made me laugh in a funny, kind of self-knowing way. I don't think the film was intending to make me laugh with that casting decision, but it did. But anyway, at the same time though, another thing which kind of made me laugh with this movie, and which won't, you know, which will probably go over most people's heads, but the thing with the movie is it's called See How They Run, and I'm not sure why it is, but whenever I see that title, it reminds me of the Beatles song, Lady Madonna, and the lyrics in that song, See How They Run, Lady Madonna. If you know the song, it's a great song, actually one of my favourite Beatles songs, but yeah, whenever I see the title of this movie, See How They Run, it reminds me of the song Lady Madonna. I'm a huge Beatles fan, by the way, if you hadn't guessed already. Look, you can probably see the Abbey Road poster back there, but yeah, it just reminds me of the Beatles song Lady Madonna, and I half expected the film to use the song. I don't know why I just did, because the lyrics in the song remind me of the title of the film, and vice versa. The title of the film remind me of the lyrics in the song Lady Madonna. And so I'm kind of looking at the title of the film going, don't they say that in the song Lady Madonna? And it just, yeah, it kind of made me get Lady Madonna stuck in my head yesterday. People probably don't understand what I'm going on about, but still, nonetheless, I wanted to mention that. Like, it's just the fact as well that Knives Out 2, you know, aka Glass Onion and Knives Out Murder Mystery, is also named after a Beatles song. I mean, this film isn't, but it also kind of named after a Beatles lyric, or Beatles lyrics, should I say. And also, you know, Knives Out 2, aka Glass Onion and Knives Out Murder Mystery, is named after the song Glass Onion by the Beatles, and I don't really know what that is, and it's just kind of like, yeah, don't really know what I'm going on about there, but it's just kind of reminding me of Beatles songs, and I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure why this film is titled See How They Run, and whenever I see that title, it reminds me of the lyrics of the Beatles song Lady Madonna, which I just wanted to bring up because that's where my brain works. Anyway, don't know what point I was making there, but yes, I liked this film. I did wish I had a better cinema experience when I was watching the cinema last night, but still, nonetheless, it's a wonderful film. It's nothing special, but at the same time, though, yeah, I enjoyed watching it. Just kind of wish I enjoyed watching it a bit more than I did because of the rubbish cinema experience I had with this film last night. But overall, yeah, it's a bit of fun. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that See How They Run, I'm going to say that's a 7 out of 10. You know, it does kind of feel like a pseudo Wes Anderson movie. And I would probably recommend any Wes Anderson film over this film. Which is a bit of a shame to say because I kind of want to like this film a bit more than I did. When I'm sat in the cinema thinking, this film feels like it's trying to copy the Wes Anderson formula, it doesn't feel like it's doing that. Well, I'm kind of wondering why, you know, Tom George, the director, is doing that. And I don't know. It also kind of feels like he's trying to capture the same sort of energy and lightning in a bottle of Knives Out, the Ryan Johnson film, which came out in 2019, which is also going to sequel, which I've already mentioned in this review, later on this year. It just kind of felt like he was trying to capture that Knives Out energy of having a huge cast in there, and a murder mystery, and I don't feel it is nearly as good as Knives Out, which I've got to admit. But still, it was fun. I just want to reiterate that. It was fun, even so it did kind of feel like Tom George was trying to capture the same formula, the same winning formula, should I say, of many Wes Anderson movies, and even so, it did feel a bit silly in some parts, particularly towards the end, which is one thing I really touched on, but I'm mentioning now. And even so, it is kind of named after some Beatles song lyrics, in my opinion. At least that's the way I see it. Even so, I have all those weird things regarding this movie. I did still like it, even though I had a bad cinema experience with this movie. It's a good movie that I just had a bad cinema experience with. And that's kind of how I feel the film overall. Don't know how this review has gone today, because my head is a bit all over the place, and it feels like I'm just spouting random points, so I don't know how this review has ended up. Hope you enjoyed it, but still, overall, would I recommend See How They Run? Yes, I would, but maybe it's one of those films you wait to watch when it comes out on DVD, or one of those films you wait to watch when it comes out on a streaming service. But still, It's a fun watch, and I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. I just kind of wish I had a better cinema experience when I was watching it in the cinema last night. And so, all in all, I'm going to say, let's see how they run. I'm going to say that it's a 7 out of 10 from me. Anyway, guys, what do you think of See How They Run? See How They Run. Again, it's lyrics of the Beatles song, which I can't get out of my head every time I mention the title of this film. But anyway, guys, what do you think of See How They Run? Please do comment down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like subscribe on this video. I look forward to many more, both film and TVs and podcasts coming very soon on this channel. See you guys again soon, but bye for now. Bye!